Hi, my name is Kendrick Blanchard. I'm a real estate agent with Sarah Oliver Real Estate Brokerage, serving London and the surrounding area. I'm just putting out a video for 5 things you need to know before moving to London, Ontario. Stay to the end. I really think you'll like what I have to say. Number 1, size. London isn't too big and it's not too small. You can get anywhere in 20 minutes and has absolutely everything that you'd want from a big city, except maybe an IKEA. I mean, we could always use an IKEA, but we do get an IKEA drop-off, which is kind of the same thing. It's like a $35 flat rate and it drops off to a depot over on Warncliffe South. And I know that because I've used them a few times. That aside, with a population of only 400,000 people actually spend the time to get to know each other here. You actually know your neighbors' names. People will go out of their way to help you. I find that living in places like Toronto where it's really busy, those kinds of relationships really diluted and people don't spend the time to get to know each other unless you're working with them or they're in your circle. So London is kind of great that way. It's very easy to meet people and make new friends. Number 2, the weather. You know, like the rest of the province, London does get all 4 seasons. Our summers are hot and humid and our winters are cold and, well, blizzardy. Our summers are great here. There's lots of outdoor space, lots of parks, lots of trails, the beaches. We do get Port Stanley, which is only a 45-minute drive away, and then we do get Grand Bend, which is about a 50-minute drive away. As a local, my personal favorite is Port Stanley. It's a really big beach. It has about 2 restaurants on it. There's lots of space. It's closer, and it's kind of where everybody goes. And then there's Grand Bend, which is, it's famous. It is a busy beach. It's a very nice beach, much smaller, but it has the Grand Bend Strip. It's all a bunch of fresh restaurants, lots of dining options, bars, lots of shopping. But the only thing with Grand Bend is you don't get all the parking. It's good to go and experience Grand Bend once or twice or however much as you like, if that is your preferred beach. But as a local, we do go to Port Stanley, and that is where we would spend most of our time. In the winter, we do get a lot of snow here. London is on what's called a snow belt. So being pit between the 2 Great Lakes, we do get the downwind and we do get all the snow that kind of comes with that. And you may be wondering what a snow belt is. So a snow belt, by definition, is a region that receives an appreciable amount of snow. So we get a lot of snow. But what's great about that is that we have a place called Bowler Mountain right here in town. So if you like to ski or snowboard and make the most of those heavy winter days, fresh POW days, so to speak, you can head on over to Bowler Mountain and take advantage of it. Even if snowboarding and skiing isn't your thing, there are lots of skating rinks spread out across London, with the most notable being downtown in Victoria Park. Everyone goes. It's something you need to do at least once. It's just a London experience. Number 3, affordability. Of course, the housing market is up 40% last year. However, London is still one of the most affordable cities to live in the region. Just comparing London to Toronto, London's average house sale is around $585 per month versus Toronto at $822. So not only can you expect cheaper housing here in London, but other things like food, utilities, other necessities, and transportation are all going to be much more affordable. Even just looking at public transportation. London's unlimited ride pass for our bus system here is $95 a month versus Toronto for a similar service at $156 a month. So it makes a big difference. Number 4, recreation and adventure. London gets the name the Forest City because we've got a lot of parks, a lot of green space, and a lot of trees. Hence the name the Forest City. London also has a lot of trails, the most notable being the Westminster Ponds, Sifton Bog, and Kamoka Provincial Park. My favorite trail here in London is the Kamoka White Trail. It's about a 5-kilometer loop. It goes through the forest, up some hills, and along a river. It's a great place to go for a hike, walk, run, or just taking the dogs out. There's a stretch along the river that I tend to keep my dogs on. I keep them on the leash because they will jump in if given the opportunity. So that's just a little warning for that. If that's what they like to do, let them do their thing. Also got things like the Factory, which is Canada's largest indoor adventure park. It's got a warrior course, high ropes and zip lines, a full trampoline park, virtual reality, escape rooms. This place has everything, and it's perfect for a date night or just an experience to take the kids. We've also got things like East Park and Storybook Gardens, which are great for the young ones. As a kid myself, I grew up on these places. I went there all the time and I always loved it. Very nostalgic for me. London has a great nightlife. We have what's called Richmond Row, located downtown. We have everything from fine dining down to cheap pub food. And if you're just looking to go for a drink, there's plenty of options for that. We have places like Jack's, Barney's, Chuck's, Finn McCool's, Molly Bloom's. We have Joe Cool's. There are just endless amount of options that you can pick and choose from, just depending on taste and the kind of scene that you want. So just a few extras that London has. London has a small international airport, so it's great for quick travel if you need to get somewhere. We also have Budweiser Gardens. It's a concert venue, and we get lots of big names right here in town. We also get the Western Fair, which is very similar to the Toronto CNE, but just on a smaller scale. We don't have as many rides here, but it's run by the exact same people. We also get Sunfest, which is London's multicultural food festival. It's a lot of different kinds of food. They bring in the market shops and all the little stalls. It really is a great experience, and it's a fun thing to do with the family. Now, I don't believe it's happening this year due to COVID, but once we get to see some more higher vaccination rates, I'm sure we'll see this again next year. Number 5, location. London cannot possibly be in a better location. To the west, we have Detroit. It's about a 2-hour drive where you can go tailgate at all the major sports games, do your cheap shopping, and just whatever you might need over the border there. To the east, we have Toronto, again, about a 2-hour drive. You can go and experience all the concerts, international travel, and just all those extra shopping centers that they have. Additionally, we're less than 2 hours away from Niagara Falls and wine country. And for me, I like wine, so that's one of my favorite places to go. Well, those were the 5 things you needed to know before you moved to London, Ontario. If you liked what you heard, please like and subscribe to my channel for weekly updates. I'm going to be trying to post every week, specifically on Mondays. So keep an eye out, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.